probably about 10 months late with this post, but since the beginning of the pandemic, a lot of my clients have picked up running, and a common question that I get asked is, my calves are tight, can you show me some stretches? But stretches might not be the right solution. First, to check if your ankle mobility is actually a limiting factor, and to see if your calves are actually tight and need stretching, you can try the wall test. For the wall test, you stand in a lunge position with your back leg straight, heel on the ground, and your front toes against the wall. You can lightly hold onto the wall if you need to, and it's helpful to have a measuring tape beside you. So you want to lunge forward and try to touch your knee to the wall while keeping the front heel on the ground. And if you can do that, you back up a bit and repeat. And you keep sliding back and repeating this motion until you can no longer touch your knee to the wall and keep that front heel on the ground. At minimum, we want you to be able to lunge forward and touch your knee to the wall while keeping your heel on the ground with your toes about 5 centimeters or 2 inches from the wall. So anything less than that would be considered poor ankle mobility. Ideally, we would aim for something closer to 3 inches or just about 8 centimeters from the wall. Between 5 and 10 centimeters is considered within normal limits. We also encourage you to compare side to side. If you find that one side is significantly more restricted than the other, then perhaps that side needs to be stretched or mobilized. However, if your range of motion is between 5 and 10 centimeters on both sides, that's 2 to 4 inches, and they are fairly close in range of motion, then your calf pain could be due to a strength issue. Let's check. So do 5 single leg calf raises on the less painful side, like this. Just go up onto the balls of your feet, nice and steady, and then you can compare to the other side. So if you find on the other side that you can't go up as high, so it kind of looks a bit more like this could indicate that this calf is weaker and it feels tight because it's working harder to keep up with the other calf when you're running. Or if you find you can get to the same height, but your foot's all wobbly, this could indicate that you have weaker foot intrinsic muscles on this side. So that would also make your calf work harder on this side to keep up with the other side. If the wall test and the strength test seem equal, then it could actually have to do with your running gait. So let's look at your gait. Perhaps you are running on the balls of your feet or your forefoot, so it kind of looks like this. That would overstress your calf. So then you could try switching to more of a midfoot landing, kind of like this. Sorry, I have limited space, so it's kind of difficult to show. But another thing that I often see is that people land kind of on their forefoot and kick up. So you're kind of almost pulling yourself forward when you do it that way. Consider this, when you land, try to use your glutes to extend and push you forward. So you're doing a propelling motion versus like a pulling motion. The space kind of limits my demonstration, but what I'm saying is when you land, try to really maximize your hip extension because that will propel you forward. So if you're not getting this hip extension, then your calves have to kind of push harder to propel you forward, if that makes sense.